Coming up on tonight's show, I am going to be discussing my mental health. Yes, I'm doing the Top Gear intro, and also I'll be discussing the future on what I've been doing and how I've been coping with things tonight on Mark Talks Mental Health. Yeah, that was an intro. Yes, if you're watching this and you've come from a short, yes, I'm wearing a different top. Yes, I'm wearing completely different day, everything. What happened was I recorded a video the day before when I made this video. And then things have come to light and I am now changing it. So what happened is about, if you guys don't know, over a week ago, a couple of weeks ago, I was given my best of future endeavors by our local establishment. They wanted to go in a different direction creatively. They wanted to not do WWE content anymore because of the fact that there is so much legal action and stuff behind the scenes that they don't want to get into trouble. Fair enough. So I was given my best of my future endeavors because I was someone that just enjoyed making content, and that's how I felt. What I didn't realize is that there were people behind the scenes that felt like my content was going to be too controversial for the channel, which I wasn't aware of that much. I know that I was told that there were certain situations I'm not allowed to talk about on the screen, which hindered some of my content in a way, because I've always been someone that is very, what's the right, I'm not someone that likes to argue. I'm not an argue person, but I'm very much someone that when I get to see an opportunity to have a discussion about something, then I'm going to have the discussion no matter what. And I feel like we're in a day of age of society that, because everyone's trying to please everyone, and I do think this as well. I got told this when I was at work, not my work I'm at now, but a different job that I had. Was they said to me, when you try and please everyone, you please no one. And I never understood what that meant until recently. And when I went through my first bad mental health break, I was very much of, I didn't want to please anyone, didn't like anyone, didn't care for anyone, didn't want to know anyone. But then there's this thing inside of me where I've always gone, I don't have mates. I don't have many friends. Probably in my own doing. But I don't have many people. So the people I have is my wife, my mum, my brother, and my kids. And I would say it got to a point where our local establishment was full of my mates. And to see how I was treated after that was, and it still pisses me off now. And every so often I'll tweet out something dumb. Um, and I'll do something that will go, and then I'll think about it the next day, going, "Yes, it's a motivational quote, but in the time, it felt like the right thing to do." Um, but ever since that, I was pissed off. I was angry. I said the wrong things. I did the wrong things. Do I regret it? No, because that's how I felt. Um, I'm always someone that you don't regret your actions. It all happens for a reason. Always done that. If I'm meant to have no friends and the only person I'm meant to be with the rest of my life with is my wife, then I'm fine with that. I love my wife to pieces. If I'm meant to lose friends because I'm not being myself, all right. I'm very much at the stage of my life now where I'm sick and tired of trying to please everyone. I have got a stable job. I have got two wonderful children, even though school holidays needs to hurry the fuck up to end. I do love them, but it gets to a point where they are going batshit crazy and they need to go back to school. Um, I've got a good family. A lot needs to be worked on with that, but I have a good family. And I support Reading. Could be fucking a lot better. Um, but I have a life. I do these videos, and someone commented saying, "This is the 5th time doing a different thing that you're doing, and I'll explain what I'm getting into soon." And I'm like, I don't care, because when I sit down and I have a microphone, that's the most relaxed I feel. And it's the only time that I put a lot of time aside for doing all of my channels. And it may hinder my family, and I always apologize. I'm trying to find a balance that really works for everyone, but I haven't found it yet. I'm still searching for it. But it's just one of those things where I'm still bitter. I'm still angry with how things went off, but I've channeled it differently. Where when I wasn't at work and it was playing on my mind all the time, I was a bitter, twisted twat. Bitter, twisted twat. And I hated everyone. And then I went to work, and when I started working and getting on with things and doing stuff, I sort of had a different perspective of, well, it doesn't really mean much. I'm they're gonna do their thing, and I really hope that they really push on. Really do hope. One day, maybe I can make a guest appearance, but that won't be for a very long time in the future. But I wanna make sure that I can create the content that I absolutely love. So, talking of that, here's a few things you guys need to know. First off, we are going to be doing carrying on with this as well on Mark Talks Football. That is right. We're carrying on with the Around the World Save. As you saw, we are now in South Africa. When you watch this, we will still be in South Africa. But we are in South Africa at the moment, and we will be doing a carrying on with that and trying to win the African Champions League. The series has changed a little bit now, where we want to win as many Champions Leagues around the world as we can before FM26 comes out, which is very soon. But we are also adding something as well to Mark Talks Football, and that's something that I've wanted to do for a little while. But now that I've fallen back in love with football, there's two things I'm going to be doing, but one is the one of the more important things that I'm going to enjoy. That is right. We are going to be doing Mark Talks Royals Roundtable, and that is going to be a show on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. UK time, on a Wednesday, and noon Sunday, where we will be discussing all things Reading Football Club. But on the noon Sunday, it's going to be split into two shows. I'll explain it in the middle. But because we've got a new owner, there's new things happening. A lot of things have been going on, a lot of talk. I don't really mention much on social media because I don't like to pile on, but I am going to be doing a YouTube videos where I will be expressing my hot takes, as I say. But talking of hot takes, on a Sunday, we're going to be doing this as well. That is right. We're going to be doing sports hot takes. So it's going to be half and half show, half Reading, half sports. And with the sports hot takes, we are going to be discussing around the world sport, whether it's about rugby, cricket. I know that when you watch this the Friday before, the Women's Rugby World Cup has started. So we're going to be covering that. But all of this starts in September when the kids go back to school, because I will have much more time to do it then. So that's when this is happening. And we're doing that on Mark Talks Football, so make sure, if you haven't already, to go over and subscribe. But on Mark Talks Wrestling, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a prediction show. We're going to be doing a review show. We're going to be doing a PLE show. But not only that, we're going to be doing this. Very much so. We're going to be discussing the week that's happened in WWE on a Sunday. It'll be Sunday, 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be sitting down talking about all things NXT, Raw, SmackDown, and we're going to give our honest opinions about that. Any breaking news that's happened during that week, or if there's breaking news and I'm available to do a live show, then I will be doing a live show. But we will see how we go on from there. But that will be happening after every PLE becomes September. So the first PLE I think I'm looking at is probably August, September time. Will be Clash in Paris, the final Peacock in America PLE before it goes over to ESPN Wrestle Palooza. But we are going to be doing that. That will be coming on the 31st of August. I'm not even sure at this point now when Clash in Paris is happening. But we will be doing Clash in Paris review show. I will be live tweeting my thoughts about Heatwave that's happening the previous weekend about NXT. And then we will be discussing all things NXT, who we think how things are going. We may discuss TNA as well with what's happening during that. We may also discuss AAA because they are now a partner with WWE. But most importantly, we are also carrying on with the WWE 2K25 series that I am doing on Mark Talks Wrestling, where I am now the sole general manager. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what this means and what we're going to be looking at. So, as you know, we are currently on I needed to change the picture. There we go. Mark Talks Mental Health. We're going to also carry on doing Around the World, where we will be discussing things of how we're getting on. The WWE 2K25 series will be continuing. Then we will also be adding to the Mark Talks football brand the Royals Round Table, where we will be discussing all things Reading Football Club, as well as on a Sunday we will be discussing Hot Takes, where we will be going around the world looking at all different kinds of sports, mainly probably the Premier League, but we will be discussing other things as well. And lastly, we will be doing the Kayfabe Report, where we will be discussing all things, as it says on the screen, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and any premium live events. We will be doing special videos and packages for the premium live events that are coming up and everything else in between. So yes, that is what we're doing. And why am I doing all of this? Well, this is why I was talking about with my mental health. When I was told that I wasn't doing anything on our local establishment anymore, I very much felt like there was a hole that was being missed. And I always felt that there was a hole that was being missed on my channels anyway. I just felt like it become robotic, it become predictable, and it wasn't going the way that I've done it. Also, with the NXT show as well, I just want to express that I have asked permission from Ed Fries, who just taking over, did a weekly TNA NXT show talking about NXT. I did ask him if it was okay for me to cover the premium live events and everything like that. But he is not doing WWE content at this precise moment, concentrating on the indies in America, which is absolutely great content that they're doing so far. And he was absolutely fine with us doing it. So I was very thankful for him. I did tell him if he ever comes back to doing NXT action, give me a heads up and I will be able to change with what I'm doing to not hinder or impact anything that they're doing, which is absolutely marvelous. But yeah, there was a whole. There was something I want to do. I love talking bollocks on the internet. I want to be talking more. I don't want to be tweeting as much, but I want to be talking more about how I feel about the wrestling industry or the Reading Football Club stuff or any sports around the world. I just think it's a good outlet and a bit therapeutic for me to just get what I feel and get it out into the universe, into the system. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I am very excited to start that in September. Looking forward to going through it and doing all of that from it moving forward. But who the fuck knows what's going to happen? The way that I'm dealing with things right now is I talk to my wife. I sort of take a breather to myself. And I try and throw myself into doing stuff, which is healthy and unhealthy at the same time. I need there to be a time when I can just not think about things and just relax. That time hasn't come for a little while. So maybe I need to find a way of doing that. Maybe when the kids go back to school, I'll be a lot more relaxed. from that. But we're going to end it there. 15 minutes of your time about how I'm doing, how everything's going, how everything's been going, how I'm feeling, what I'm going to be doing next, how everything's going to happen. And we're coming up for you. Hopefully next week will be another mate of mine who I love making content. We used to make content with him a little while ago, but we stopped doing that. He went off to go and do his proper shoot job, and I went and did my job, and we haven't really spoke that much since then, but we speak on and off. But he should be coming next week, so I'm looking forward to that. He is hilarious and I love him to pieces. But thank you guys ever so much for watching. We will be back next week for more Men Talks. Oh, well, talking about this channel as well, this is going to be turned into a series, so it'll be about 13 episodes a series where we get guests on. There'll be about 2 seasons a year where we do it. I'm looking to get back into doing this around about Christmas time, and then going from there. But we will see how things go. But I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. We will see you guys next week for more. But we love you, Ken. My name is Mark. You guys have been amazing.